Alright guys, so how's it going? So, welcome to another, it's cloudy. We got, I think another, I didn't quite look at the rain gauge, but I think we got another freaking half inch today. And I think they were kind of saying maybe some more this evening, but they keep changing it, so I don't really know what the deal is. So, but anyways, I finally took all my 4th of July stuff down. I left my lights up for the weekend. I can't leave them up. Other things I should leave them up all summer long, and some people do that. That's kind of the point of them lights. Which I have staked in my yard there, but the problem is I don't have the rechargeable type of batteries. I just use regular AAAs when you're supposed to use the rechargeable kind, because it'll recharge off the sun. So, but the ones that were in there originally crapped out, and I just decided, well, we really only use these things for probably like 5 days out of the whole year. So, because I put them up July 1st, and then I take them down usually July 5th. So, they don't stay up forever, but, so I did that, and then sprayed for bugs again, because, we have that damn bug problem again. So, those, I think they're called elder box, or I don't know, something, elder something. They're ugly, and they don't hurt nothing, but they're just ugly. So, but or box, is it box elder or elder something? I don't remember, but they're little black and red bugs. They're red when they're babies, but as they grow up, they change color. But soapy water kills them. It's just that easy. Soapy water kills them. You don't need chemicals. You don't need nothing. So that's kind of nice, but because we always have tons of, dish soap, and you could really probably use anything: hand soap, dish soap, clothing soap of any kind, whatever. I think pretty much anything works. So yeah, finally got around to getting some other things done too. Besides that, I'll show you here. This is, I got some John Deere yellow, and this is the can that I bought last year. Now see that white number right there on my thumb? That's your part number or your item number, whatever. Okay, so this is last year's can. But now, if you get into the new cans for whatever, 2025, I guess, all they changed was they put a CX in front of it. But the actual number is still the same. So they changed the part number there a little bit, which is kind of typical for John Deere. They don't really change it a lot. They either add a number or they add a couple letters or whatever. So this is the can that was from last year. So I got 3 cans of yellow paint. Well, I had one from last year. 2 cans of black paint. I gotta get some white paint too. And I'm out of International Harvester Red, but I still have the can back there. And then I got my wood paint here. So I'm slowly restocking my paint shelf. I need to get an actual shelf put in here for just strictly paint, but whatever, nothing fancy anyway. So I put that back here because this is where all my paint and stuff stays, because I don't use it that often. So, and then we'll get into that in a minute. So I picked up some shear pins for the snowblower, because I go through shear pins like crazy. I shouldn't, but I am. So this is a 10-pack of little baby shear pins, and isn't the bag cute? It's a John Deere bag, isn't it cute? It's cute. That's probably how they get it in order or in bulk by 10. So I ordered 10. So now these are different, I think, even from the original ones that were in the blower. I have one original one left. I need to pull it out. Yeah, I gotta pull it out, but I mean, I guess it's right there. I could do it, but I bought these bolts a while ago, and I thought they were shear pins. I thought maybe I got them from John Deere, but they're obviously way shorter than those, and I don't know. I don't remember what the hell they were for. Yeah. But I wrote on the bag X724. So it has to do something with the John Deere, but I don't fucking remember what. So I'm not going to throw them away because you never know when you might need them, but I don't know what the hell they were ever for. I thought these were the shear pins for the snowblower, or the shear bolts. Because I think the original ones were fat too, but then for some reason they give you these shorty ones, or well, they're long but they're skinny. But these are a completely different size. Like here, you can drive these in with a 7/16 socket and wrench. And I have that in the John Deere, so I bought a set just for that. But then if you ran the bigger pins, because the original ones in the snowblower were bigger than those. But I'll be damned, I can't remember what these were for. So, because all I wrote was X724. So I don't know. And then there's something written on the bag too, but I think that's just the hardware's. Because I think I got these at the hardware, but you can't buy shear pins from the hardware. Because the guy said that shear pins are like a special bolt, and you can only buy them from the company that built whatever needs shear pins. So like my John Deere snowblower needs shear pins in the augers. Okay, well you can only use shear pins from John Deere. Unless you're able to find like aftermarket ones or something, but you know, it's easier just to get them from John Deere because I got to go there and get engine oil and stuff. So I have no clue what the hell these were ever for now. I thought these were for the snowblower. But for the life of me, I can't freaking remember. So I been meaning to. Oh, come on. Yeah. Where are the pins? Where the hell do they sit at now on this damn thing? Yeah, here. So I don't remember which one it was now. One of these is still original. I think it's this one. Or it might be that one. Because I didn't use it. I kept it on there, the original one, just so I would always have a shear pin, you know, like I could get the original ones or get the correct ones from John Deere. But when I say when you look up the part number for the shear pins for these blowers, they come back to what they are, and that's what I get. So, and they're a completely different size from the original. So I was like, well, maybe if I hang on to the original, at least one, maybe I could take it down there sometime and then compare the two. You know, but I guess I've just never done it. But I should fill that back up. I might do it this fall. Because I don't like touching shit and I don't have to. So, because it's bad enough I got to use this thing in the wintertime. So, like, well, when I put it on this fall, to get ready for winter mode. Then I'll stockpile it. I'll put shear pins on it. So yeah, I always have shear pins on the snowblower. So I like how John Deere designed that. It's better than having to, like, I don't know, carry a baggie, like a small baggie, and then you put that in like the glove box on the mower, you know, like, because I have all my other stuff in there. So I have the wrenches that fit that style of shear pin, not for the original one. That's a slightly bigger one. I don't have those. I mean, I do, but I don't keep them on the John Deere. I bought a set of wrenches just for shear pins for the snowblower. Because every year I'm popping at least one. I think it was last year or the year before I popped two. But that's just because I keep hitting, I either hit ice or I hit something extremely hard, like a brick or something, you know, and the brick is frozen to the ground, so it's not going to give. But yeah, so I'm always popping shear pins, and naturally I don't want to have to keep coming back here all the time to put new shear pins in, so it's easier just to keep certain tools with you. And then yeah, so and then these, yeah, so like I said, I'm going to hang on to these. I don't know what they went for. Something for the X724. I thought they were shear pins for the blower. I don't think so. Oh, maybe it was for, it's coming, maybe, I don't know. Could it, maybe, yeah, maybe these were for the, they're a little short. Well, maybe they were always short. Yeah, I think these were for when I was putting the new drive spindle on the mower deck, and I broke those original, the brand new ones. When I was putting it on, the new spindle, I broke a couple of those because I can easily over torque shit. But since those were a special bolt from John Deere, you would have to go through John Deere to get special bolts. But he says that you could still get this style, you could still shove an ordinary bolt in it and it would still work. So I think that's what these are for now, since I think about it. I think I'm going to have to mark that. I think that's what they were for. These were just extra spares in case I did, I broke one during mowing or something, you know, or whatever. But I think these were kind of short, but maybe they were always kind of short to begin with. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, is that these were for the drive spindle, or the drive spindles. But then I really should have put in 62-inch mower on there, or the mower deck, if that's what they were for. Because I think I did remember grabbing a few just for that, just in case if I did break one, then I could just shove an ordinary bolt in there to get me by. That's what I think they were for now, since I think about it. But these are just strictly shear pins for the blower. And I even put a little sticky note in there to remind me, going into the future, that those are shear bolts for the 54-inch snow blower. And these, well, I keep this stuff in the garage. Not here in the shop. I keep them in the garage because I know I'm going to need them. So that's what I think they were for now, since I think about it. They were for the mower deck, for the drive spindles. If I ever should break one, then I could shove that in, either as a temporary fix or a permanent one, whatever comes first. But yeah, I guess I'll have to write that down, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were for. And then the other thing here, I'm not going to be too happy about it, but I think it's really the only route I can go. If you guys remember me talking about separating the CB radio from the power, like from the lights and stuff, because I wanted to be able to maybe I think I wanted to keep this on if the lights were off or something. I'm not going to really do a solar thing, obviously, but the only thing I could come up with is this. And I already have like 2 of these things, so they have a little night light in them, but I don't really need that. But it's just a single thing on the back, which would allow you to split it into 3, but I'm only going to need a 2. That's really the only thing I can think of. I was going to do that today, so, but, yeah. Yeah, I think that was just so, yeah, that was so I could keep constant power going to the radio for memory. So I think that's what we're going to try to do today. I'm just going to let you guys look at my ugly face and whatever. I know I haven't shaved in quite a while. I look kind of rough. I shave like every other fucking day, and it gets kind of old after a while. And I can go through a lot of razor blades pretty quickly, so see, like now tomorrow we're going to probably go shopping, so I'm going to shave and make myself look pretty. You never know, might find a girl, so probably not. But, you know, you never know. So, I think that was the point of why I wanted to do this. And yeah, I know I killed all the lights and stuff. Because my connections right here, I keep all my connections up in there. Of course, you can't open the freaking thing for it. You couldn't open this thing to save your life. You know, because they don't put any sneaking tabs in it to actually do that. So there we go. I think I got it. Sure does. So these are actually just pretty much simple. I don't know what it's going to think about heavy tools being pulled on that. But so there's my cord. That's the main power cord coming into the shop. Okay, well, we still have power because there's the night light. I think that actually goes out if it senses light. So, like I said, I don't really need that. So, okay, so that's that. And then I need the one for the CB. What's going on here? Why is everything a fight? Come on, why do you like that for? Who the hell did all this wiring? Jesus. They sure in the hell don't know what they're doing. That's for sure. Well, why am I grabbing that wire? Come on, you son of a bitch. There we go. God. Come on. Come to daddy. What's the problem? Oh, that's one. Okay, there we go. Now what we can do, I hear thunder, but I don't think there's anything coming. There was stuff here earlier. So then we'll plug it in to that one. Then we'll just clean everything up. And at least the nightlight would be kind of nice because you'll be able to see if they still got power, even though you'll be able to tell anyway, because clearly if you don't have lights, you don't have power. So actually I can just lay that like that. And then, so that should always have power. So yeah, so now the CB is completely isolated from the shop. And you get a little bit of a little flicker in it, but that ain't horrible. So like now if I program channels, you guys aren't going to see this, but if I set up the dual watch, which let's just do this. Okay. And Okay, well, squelcher's got to be turned up. Eventually it should start to, there. Now I got it going through 2 channels. So I just picked a couple of random channels, 6 and 19, right? So technically, if I shut this off, I'll wait a few seconds, okay. And now see, it was still on channel 6. If it didn't have power completely, it should have went back to channel 9. And then if I hit dual watch, it goes right through the same memory channels because the memory's staying alive because it's getting constant power. So I shut the lights off, obviously, and the CB's still doing its thing. Of course, it's going to flicker when it's got lights, but you know, whatever. I did find out that if you run the angle grinder, or well, this tool anyway, and you know, once you get that thing above a 6 for speed, you'll kind of hear it. You'll hear it humming through the radio. So you get some interference. It's all on that same, setup. So yeah. So cut that off, and then we'll turn it back on. See, it still remembers everything. If we turn the weather on, and channel 7 usually works for me.
At Flag Island,
yeah.
It was fair. Elsewhere around the region.
Okay, so we're on channel 7. Shut the radio off. Now, I don't think it's going to stay on the weather. It'll go back to CB band, but...
Channel false.
Oh, no, it does.
83 at Minneapolis. It was fair, with a temperature of 73 at Detroit Lake.
Yeah.
73 at Parkville.
So, it holds its memory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to program my channels in. Not that's going to matter, but I like to have channel 19 and then my channel. And there you go. So channel 19 is a channel I like to scan, and then my channel that we use. Not that we're going to be able to talk on this radio anyway until I get an antenna put up. But yeah, so let's stop it on channel 35. Or, well, let's just, yeah. So we'll stop it on that channel, and then we'll just shut it off. Okay, I'm back in the shop. I want to do my stuff. The only thing you have to constantly keep turning on is the sound tracker. But people say, I found out that doesn't really even matter. The sound tracker is more or less if you have a buddy that has this exact same radio. So obviously I have this in the 15. So if let's just say Mother was in the shop doing whatever, and I was in the 15, and I hollered at her for whatever reasons. Apparently, the audio would be a little better, which I don't know. So I still turn it on. I feel like it kind of helps cut some of the noise down. And then obviously, if you want to go to channel 19, you have an instant channel 9 and 19, which you can just push it twice and you'll be fine. So, and then you turn on your dual watch, and then there you go. So, but that's programmed, but I'll keep it off for now just because I don't need it. But I mean, now obviously, if we lose power, from the, just lose complete power, well then yeah, this will all get deleted. But as long as the power stays on, we'll be okay. So, and then the same thing with the weather. If I want to listen to the weather, okay, weather on.
70%.
So,
Tuesday, sunny.
and then there you go.
North winds up to
And then, it will always remember that channel. So, like, that's the only thing I could think of was just basically just an adapter. I don't know how good these are, because you can get these from the Dollar General, so I don't know how good they would actually be. But I've had one down in the basement now for a couple of years, and it's held up just fine. And then I have another one in the garage, because I got because I split another thing that needs that splitter. So, because I got one camera that needs constant power from that, and then something else. But so yeah, and every now and then, if you listen, see how long it'll take. La 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 la. Probably not going to happen now, but when the lightning's out, you can hear it through the base radio, but I'm hearing it here there. You hear that big static lot? That static? That's lightning going through the air. And I can hear that on the base radio, and I'm hearing it here in the shop too. So even though it's a GMRS antenna and it's real short, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll just kind of see. Of course, there you can see it's got a little night light on there. I don't really need that, but what are you gonna do? That's just the way that is. That's the only thing I can think of. It's 15 amps, so it should still be more than enough to handle what I'm doing. So thunder to the south, and she's kind of dark to the north, so I don't know, but so yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. That's really all I had planned on doing, I guess, for today. So the CB will always have power. Oh yeah, and then you have to keep on. This thing has to always stay on now too, but I don't know. I think this thing gets kind of warm. That's why I didn't care to use it, because it got kind of hot. So, but how often, I guess, am I going to be in here? Well, it's going to be on 24/7. It's going to be on 24/7. That is some fucking deadly lightning. What the fuck was that? It was like an explosion caused by lightning. Something. Oh, that was fucked up. There goes a deer. But yeah, the lightning. I don't know. The lightning has just, the thunder and the lightning has just been something these last few days. Stuff sounds deep, hollow, mean. The lightning has been intense. It was that one night, I didn't even fall asleep till probably like 3:30 in the morning, because we had just these constant storms. And they were moving kind of slow, but the lightning, oh my God, I thought the damn thing was going to hit the house. And the first thing that would get struck on my house would be the CB radio, because they got that antenna way up in the air, right? Well, I said fuck it, and I disconnected the CB antenna from the radio, because I did not want to blow up my radio. I don't know if they make like a lightning filter for CB. I have one on my weather radio. My uncle said to get one for the weather radio. He says that they make a lightning filter thing for it, so if you did get struck by lightning, and I guess if it went through, the antenna and it went into the coax and then into my weather radio, that filter thing would stop it. I guess it would probably blow the filter or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but I don't know if they make one for CB or not. I really should probably find one. All my radios should have that. It's cheap insurance, so but I don't know if they make such a thing, but I really should get one. Especially for the house, because I'm going to try. I think there is finally a antenna that I found for the house. It's a 20-footer, and they only want like $100 for it or something, but it's got good reviews, and you can get it off of Amazon. So, that might be it. That might be what I go for. But the thing is it's 20 feet tall, so I'm going to have to put up guide wires so the wind can't pull it out. And I don't think I have enough. I got bigger ones up at the house, but I'm going to have to see if I got. Well, it's something like this. Okay, but it's a screw. You screw it into wood. I got both. But I got much bigger ones, and I think I should have 4. So that's all you're going to need is 4, but I got a shit ton of guide wire that I'm going to use. I bought 2 different rolls. That's what those rolls are right there. There's 2 different sizes. I'm going to probably end up using the biggest one. The only thing I have to do is I got to get a clamp. So basically like these exhaust clamps or whatever you want to call them, but I got to get a much smaller one. These won't work. Get some small ones. You really only need one. So if I find the correct one, I'll just get like 4 different ones and whatever which one fits the best. Then we'll hook guide wire or cables up to it. Oh, there goes some baby deer. Mom and a dad and 2 babies. Huh. I guess they're on the move. Alright. So, yeah. And then I can clamp that up about halfway. I suppose, halfway up the pipe. And then we'll just wrap the cable around it. Tie it. And then put those things in the roof, but make sure they go into a stud this time, which I have a stud finder, so that should work, I think, through the roof fine, but because I used it the other day to put one of those eye bolts in to the side of the house for my big windsock that I have. We used to have it tied to the outside door light there, but with the wind constantly pulling on it and rocking the shit out of it, it was actually breaking the screws. It's down to 1 screw now. So when that screw breaks, I'm going to have to replace my light fixture. But I think my uncle can do that. So I'll just have to get a new light fixture from a hardware store and shove it on. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that's the antenna I'm going to go with. I don't remember the brand. It's probably not that famous, but one guy said that he had one, and I forget where he said he was from, but he said he was able to talk to people in California. So, they're actually, supposedly the antenna was like really, really, really good. So, and for being a 20-footer, it's like 2 feet taller than an Antron 99, which they're only 18 feet. Okay, big deal. 2 feet ain't gonna really make a difference in height or in SWR's range. The thing is that antenna does not need to be tuned because it is already tuned for CB band. CB, just CB. So, and I don't know if it's the same thing like with that Workman, because the Workman V100, they base, you can't tune that antenna either, but you tune it through the coax. So the more coax you have, the better it'll do because it's using the coax as grounding. So I don't know if this antenna is doing the same thing or what, but you can't even tune it, which is fine by me. I don't really fucking care. I don't, if it's fine, if it's whatever. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I think maybe one of these days, maybe this fall, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll order it. We'll do that. test it out, see how good it works. And then if I'm happy with it, maybe we'll put the B100 here in the shop, then put it on this pipe here, and then be done with it. And then we'll be able to talk on it. So we'll actually be able to talk on the radio. So, but yeah, I don't know. But the only thing you have to remember now is that, you know, I'm going to have to actually shut this off now. Yeah, I like having it come on with the lights, but then you can't hold memory. You know, you would have to still change it to where the main power wire is, it would have to be hooked to this, I think, yeah. And then your memory wire would have to be hooked to that, so it always has constant power. The only thing that needs constant power is memory. Nothing else does, just your memory function. So that's why I changed it to that. So then that way the radio would always have constant memory, but then it's always going to be on if you forget to shut it off. So, and this thing's always going to be on. It's a little warm, but it ain't horrible. Like, I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but I don't know. So, but there you go. I guess that's kind of it. We got some projects done, and yeah, I'm going to put those in the garage. Those shear pins and the other bolts, I think that were for the spindle, the drive spindle for the mower deck. Rearranged that a little bit, so that should hopefully work okay now. The worst things that I'm going to be driving on that are my air compressor and the grinder. Everything else will be pretty easy on it. But for how much I actually run the grinder, ain't going to hurt. The air compressor I run the most, so... But it's just mostly that startup that's the hardest. Once you get them going, they're fine. So, I don't know. So, I guess that's kind of it. I'm going to take off. Just want to give you guys that update. So, got some more stuff done, and hopefully that'll be alright. So, but yeah, at least I can sit here and listen to the weather while I'm doing stuff too. So, that'll be nice, but whatever. But yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.